All right. Today we're going to be talking all about money. And so you're going to want your math journal on page 90. You may want a whiteboard if you want, but you don't necessarily need to have that, as everything we will do today will be in our math journal. So take a look at this math message, which will be on page 90. There are two questions here, and today we're talking about money, and so these questions are in the form of dollars and cents. Now you need to determine if you're going to add or subtract these problems. We're going to do these problems together, and then you will work a lot today on your own with the rest of the journal pages. So the problem is Cleo went to the store to buy school supplies. She bought a notebook for $2.39, a pen for 99 cents, and a set of markers for $3.99. How much money did she spend in all? When it says in all, I know that that means that I'm going to add. So the way I'm going to do it is first I'm going to place my decimal points. I have three amounts, so I'm going to put 3 decimal points down. I'm doing this to make sure that they all are lined up. You can do this as well. And then I'm going to build my number around it. So at first $2.39. And then 99 cents, so 0, and then $3.99. And I'm remembering that I want to know how much money in all, so I'm going to be adding. Pause your video and see if you can add these three numbers up. And I'm got the numbers 7, 3, and 7, and I'm carrying my decimal point straight down. Excellent. The next problem says Nicholas went to the store with a $20 bill. His groceries cost $13.52. How much change did he get? Well, I have two numbers here, so I'm going to put down two decimals, one decimal right here, and one decimal right here. So we're not confused, I'm going to change my color. I am going to write $20, and if I put it right here, that would be 20 cents. I need to remember that $20 would go before the decimal point, 20 decimal point, and then 2 zeros for $20, and then 13.52. Pause your video and see if you can solve this subtraction problem. All right, I cannot subtract 2 from 0, so I'm going to go all the way over here, make this a 1, and borrow the 1 over to the 10. I'm going to keep going though because I can't do that one, so I'm going to borrow, and I'm going to borrow one more time, and I get 10 minus 2, 9 minus 5, 9 minus 3, and 1 minus 1, and then I'm carrying my decimal point straight down, and I get $6.48. This is what you're going to be doing today. If this was tricky for you, if you have a question about lining up decimal points, if you have a question about adding, please pause your video and come see me. Take a minute to read this page. You can read it on my screen if you pause your video, or you can read it on your journal page. This page is talking all about withdraw, deposit, and interest. When we withdraw, we are taking money out of our account. When we deposit, we're putting money into our account. And if your money sits into an account, it earns interest, and that adds money to your account. So today we're going to practice adding and subtracting. If I put money into an account, I'm going to be depositing it. If I take money out, I'm withdrawing, and the amount of the money in the account is my balance. So if I go to the bank right now and say, how much money do I have in my account? They'll say your balance is such amount. All right, so in March, Kate took more money out of her bank account than she put in. In which other month did she withdraw more money than she deposited? If you said April, you're right. You can go back and read if you need to. Oopsies. Estimate whether Kate will have more or less than $100 at the end of April. So think about what you just read. If you think less than 100, you were right. All right, we're going to complete this table, and we're going to remember that if I'm depositing money, I'm adding. So anywhere I see deposit, I can put a plus sign. And if I'm withdrawing money, I'm subtracting. So anytime I see withdraw, I can put a subtraction sign. So I started with $100, and we deposited $14.23. So I added $14.23 to $100, and I got $114.23. Notice how the decimal points line up. We need to be very careful about that because now we won't have a grid to help us with that. I'm withdrawing $16.50. I know that that's subtraction. So I'm going to keep this number up here, and I'm going to write the $16.50 right below it. Pause your video and see if you can subtract these two numbers. Really be careful that all the numbers, the hundreds column, the tenths column, the ones column, the tens column, and the hundreds column all line up. Again, pause your video and see if you can work this problem out. I can't do 2 minus 5, so I'm going to borrow. 12 minus 5 is 7. I can't do 3 minus 6, so I'm going to borrow. 3, we'll get a 1. 13 minus 6, 7. I can't do 0 minus 1, so I'm going to borrow. And I'm going to make sure to move my decimal point right below. You are going to keep working on all of these problems. We just did this one, the 1650, and so I'm going to make sure I just turn that over, 9773. I did not mean to put the decimal point there, sorry about that. So 97, this is part of the 7. 97.73, I'm going to deposit $33.75, which means I'm going to add. So you can put that 33.75 right below, making sure all the numbers match up and making sure the decimal points match up. If I would like you to come show me your work after February 14th to make sure you're on the right track. Again, you'll come show me your work after March 31st and then finally after April 28th. I want to make sure you are on the right track for all of these. Remember, withdrawal means to subtract, deposit means to add, withdrawal means to subtract, interest means you're adding interest into an account, deposit is add, withdrawal means to subtract, and withdrawal means to subtract. Good luck!